Hey, number 15 in the GunShow June expirations month. Hey, if you are tired, bloated, cramped, swollen, etc., full, very full, join me because this is perfect. We're doing everything on the floor, and it's going to include your mobility warm-up drill, your exercise, which is the floor press, so grab your dumbbells, and a stretch. And it's not just that all of these exercises can be done on the floor. They actually string together. They're all focused on your shoulder stability and your posture as far as a forward rounded shoulder posture. Okay, so remember, everybody has internal rotation. Now, most of us have excessive internal rotation and or don't work our external rotation enough. Okay, so this is going to hit all of those issues, and just remember that all of these mobility drills, even though we're using them as warm-up and it's great, pick your favorites and get them in throughout the day, throughout the week. Okay, any sort of mobility drill is going to have three levels of benefits. There's the immediate benefit, meaning that you do it immediately before an exercise related to it. It's going to help that exercise for that session. Then it has the ongoing benefits as you keep working on it for correction or maintenance. Then it has eventually corrective benefits for those of us who need that correction. So remember, the internal rotation part is pretty much the given. Okay, that's the assumption. And then the external rotation work, there comes Booga. Okay, the external rotation work takes intentional work. However, any sort of mobility drill has such a quick payoff, like a week or so, where you actually start feeling differences and shifts and improvements. Okay, that there's kind of no there's no reason not to get them in. Normally, there's no special equipment that's needed. They can be done in about 2 minutes, and it's so worth that investment, that small investment of time. Okay. All right, I'm just talking so that I don't have to roll over. Here we go. And now I have to get over Booga over here. All right, so I don't know if I mentioned, so we want dumbbells, the floor, and I suggest doing it in front of a wall so we can actually modify these movements a little bit further by using the wall. So the first warm-up mobility drill is going to be the floor angels slightly modified. First modification is to place the feet on the wall, and we do that because whenever we're on our back, I tell you to close that gap on the lower spine by pressing your belly in. Well, if we put our feet on the wall, it's going to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're like me right now and feeling very, very full and you don't want to have to work so hard to engage those abs, pull those abs in. Okay, so immediately having the feet against the wall, you're going to make it a little bit easier to tilt that pelvis, get that posterior tilts, and then kind of have that scooping motion, and easier to keep the lower back pressed. Okay, so that's the reason for that. Now, the floor angels, we've done that. We're going to modify it slightly. So instead of that flat back of the hand and trying to keep that on the floor like that, we're going to just rotate it out. So each side of your arm, the back of the hand is going to be what's facing to either side of the wall. And so you'll end up Booga stretching. Okay, now he's kicking me in the head. Thank you, Booga. Okay, so you'll end up, the part that's sliding will end up being this side of your hand, side of your thumb, okay? So go ahead and place your feet on the wall or on the floor. Press your lower back down. So slide, we're gonna get ready to slide the side of our hands, and trying to keep contact the whole time. So one of the other benefits of doing it on the floor is we get to really feel for whether our scapula is nicely evenly on the floor, and take a note of those differences. Okay, so just try to keep everything down on the floor. You're going to come to a point where as you raise up higher, okay, you're not trying to bring it overhead, together, but you're going to come to a point where your elbows are going to drift off, and that's okay. If you still would like to just go ahead and do a nice overhead stretch all the way, that just feels great anyway, okay? Oh, wonderful. Okay, Booga, I know I'm in your way. You're not in my way, I'm in your way. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So just keep pressing that, okay, while keeping the shoulder blades down. So you don't want to shrug the shoulders out. Okay, you're trying to keep the shoulder blades stable and move the arms only. All right, so do that for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's the modified floor angels. All right, so for the exercise itself, we're doing the floor press, which you've seen people do, the bench press. That's what this motion is, except we have things that are a little bit more difficult and a little bit easier in the way that we're doing it. Booga's going crazy. He's got his toy. All right. Oh God, oh Lord. All right, so grab your dumbbells. Now, we have a couple things to keep in mind, all right? So first thing is, go ahead and set yourself up with the feet up against the wall or flat on the floor, okay? Go ahead and, shimmy, jimmy, whatever you need to do to get your shoulder blades nice and flat on the floor. Oh my God, sorry about that. I kind of saw that coming, but he knocked it over. You know what, we're gonna just roll with it. All right, so get the your dumbbells out to the side after that whole setup, okay? And with the bench press, okay, one of the things that we don't want to do is the bench press with the dumbbells, okay, unless you're super strong, because then your elbows are floating out there, right? And makes it really hard to keep it stable. So with the help of the floor, okay, without that drifting possible as we get below the bench, that's not something that we need to worry about if we're doing the floor press with the dumbbells. So we are going to do both arms. Starting position is going to be out to the side, okay? So your elbows straight out from your shoulders. We want to have a nice grip. Try to get your knuckles facing to the ceiling. And we're going to press up. Now, it's not literally straight up, okay? It's just slightly forward, okay? That helps protect your shoulders. Now here's the most important part. As you come down, you really want to see and control that your elbows come down and tap and reach the floor at the same speed, okay? So you all know I've got an issue with my left side, so this left side just wants to kind of float around, but we want to really try to get that the pair to come down at the same speed, okay? And really keep pressing your lower back to the floor and keep going until I would say about 80% fatigue, and then rest so that you could then go another couple of sets. All right, so that's the floor press. We get to have a lot of stability because of the floor, and we get to use the dumbbells, which is a little bit easier to judge. You can still judge with the barbell, because one end will tilt more to the side, but with the dumbbells you get to practice that stability a lot more. Okay, so part of your shoulder stability issues are going to come from your because of the floor rounding, the tightness that happens right here in your posterior capsule of the shoulder. So we're going to stretch that out, and now we can come away from the wall so that we could kind of stretch our legs. Okay, so have your legs stretched, and here is the stretch. Okay, and again, same thing with the stretch as the mobility drill. Do it, throughout the week, throughout the day. So the first part is we're going to have our, we're doing one side at a time. We're going to have our elbows at a 90 degree, okay, like so, but we're going to then bring that elbow a little bit closer to us so it's not shooting straight out from shoulder level. And then we want the most important thing, because we're trying to stretch out this capsule, we don't want to bring the shoulder with us, all right, because then you're not getting that stretch. So this shoulder needs to stay down on the floor. So go ahead and sort of pin that under, okay, and the shoulder stays down. Now what we're doing is taking this forearm and stretching it toward the floor, okay? So we're not trying to jam it, all right, or anything like that, but we're just seeing how far can it go down, and then we want to hold that as a long stretch, 30 seconds, okay? And again, you don't want to bring the shoulder with it or off the floor. The shoulder needs to stay down. And then as we're doing the stretch, you could also do it like this, where you grab that elbow, and then you can kind of let the weight of your top elbow do the some of the work to make it more passive. And same thing, you're gonna hold it. All right, so we really need to have this shoulder pinned down, okay? So go ahead and engage in the shoulders first so that it stays down. And if you wanted to have a pillow, because now my neck's starting to get sore. And you would, of course, do the other side. Now, if you can't get, if you can't go that much and you feel a tightness, well, that's just an indication, right, of the tightness caused by that internal rotated state. Okay, so don't forget to do the other side. Keep doing both the mobility drills and the stretch throughout the week, throughout the day. These mobility drills have immediate and ongoing and long-term benefits. And these benefits come super quick in comparison to, let's say, building muscle or increasing flexibility. But we need to have these mobilities in order to and then be able to add weight and then to be able to progress by doing so, right? So we don't want to overlook this tier, the postural tier of the arm month, okay? We really don't. And the ability to correct your posture is, if nothing else, also going to have the benefit of the aesthetic improvement. Okay, remember, because your posture is kind of like your first impression, right? First impression of your physique, okay, to the eye. So, all right, give it a go.